The top 10 quotes on the Bible readings for the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time: Amos, chapter 7, verse 12 to 15, and Mark chapter 6, verses 7 to 13. 10. Father Jeffrey Plant says for the Christian, the summons is primary. We must first come and be with the Lord. It is only then that we are sent. 9. Father Mark Thibodeau says Jesus wants to teach the disciples that they can rely on God alone, and if they rely on God alone, extraordinary things will happen. 8. Father Emmanuel Ochigbo says there is no one that is missionless here on earth. God has given to each one of us a unique assignment to carry on here on earth. 7. Father George Smiga says detachment does not mean that we do not care. We care deeply. Detachment reminds us that it is God's will, and not our will, that will ultimately be done. 6. Father Lawrence Obeler says we need to give room to God in our hearts, to God who comes to us every day, not for his own benefit, but for our benefit. 5. Jennifer Vosters says may we recognize the true prophets in our communities, and rather than banishing them like Amos, lend them our ears, our hands, our help. 4. Father John Paul Fort says God sometimes sees things in us that we don't see, and we have to take. And we have to show up for that and allow God to do great things through us, great things that we don't even know about. 3. Sister Janet Hockman asks, when do we find ourselves called beyond familiar identities, often of what we do or what we did? How do we respond to invitations to cross new thresholds in complex relationships and understandings? 2. Heidi Cernaka says, what I hear Jesus saying is, get out of your comfort zone and be a neighbor. Get involved with your neighbors and your brothers and sisters. I believe that each of us can do that. We need to listen in prayer and to our community members and loved ones to know what God is calling us to do. 1. Natalie Terry says the gospel shares with us today that our authority is not in doctrine or canon or religious rule. It is in love, a transformative love that we embody and that we have the ability and the responsibility to share. Make sure to check out the full reflections and many more to get the most of your Bible study. Their links at gatherclip.com.